আমাদের সৌভাগ্য বাঙালিনামার বন্ধুদের জন্য নারী দিবস নিয়ে একান্ত আলাপচারিতায় ভারতবর্ষের ব্রিটিশ ডেপুটি হাই কমিশনার শ্রীমতী ক্রিস্টিনা স্কট।
Because we know as women, society is giving us messages all of the time, isn't it? And telling us what our rightful place should be. And often, really, those messages have been designed by some of the men in our society. And it's very, very important for us to get different messages. Messages that tell us that we can do and achieve more than that. And so I worked really hard at school and got to university. And then because I think I'd been brought up in a community which had public service as such a big part of my life, I wanted to work for the UK civil service, the government. That is the organisation like the IAS, that whose job it is to work out how to support everybody in the UK.
From 2010, this is 2024. So Women's Day was started as a day to advocate universal suffrage. To what we have achieved till this day. Do you think a specific day designated as Women's Day is still relevant for us? Or we need to do something else?
In every sector of our society, with the ability to take decisions about their own bodies, about their own lives that they choose to live, unless and until women are treated with respect and do not face gender-based violence. Have the right to education at every level and to pursue whatever career they want. Until we have that day, and we have that day nowhere on the planet yet, I'm afraid we will need opportunities like International Women's Day to cast a spotlight on these important issues and to encourage organisations and governments to articulate what they are trying to do to improve the lives of women in their countries.
Representation of women in senior public services. So lots of things have changed after that, but can you share your experiences as a very senior public service person across the globe? You had been in China, now you're with us in India. How that has been different from your male colleagues and male counterparts?
Well, I think a lot has improved in the UK. I can speak for the UK.
Yeah.
Governments over the last 20 years have taken many steps to try to improve female participation in the workforce and to improve gender-neutral outcomes for women. And they have done that through legislative means, for example, mandating big companies to publish their gender pay gap so that people have to be public about the difference they are paying men and women. They have done that through regulation. They have done that through information campaigns. But we're still a long way to go in the UK as well. Women are more likely to enter the workforce with higher qualifications in the UK, but they are more likely to proceed slowly through their organisations than men. They invest less in their pensions, and so they have a harder time in old age. They still face many gender stereotypes that hold them back. So I think it's going to be a constant journey, and we see in some parts of the world where women's rights are being taken away. Yes. This isn't a one-way direction. We see countries where girl children are being taken out of education, where women are losing rights to take decisions about their reproductive health. So it is wherever we are on the planet, there's more work to be done. These issues are urgent, and I think we need to get to a stage where our governments around the world understand that until they address these issues, they will not be able to unleash the potential of their populations.
Right. You have been in India for 1.5 years now.
That's right.
How do you see this happening in India, or what is the potential of this being still push further in India?
Well, that's for India to decide how it wants to take these issues forward. I can say I've met many very inspiring women in
Yes.
India, whether that's from women trying to change their communities and educate their communities and come with better outcomes, to women who are running small companies and finding employment for women in their communities, right through to the women at the top of the government in Delhi who are on the Supreme Court or are ministers, union ministers.
You have women
you've got all of this.
representation in
There is
India.
still, though, I think less in India. I think it's fair to say less female representation at a high level and fewer numbers. And sometimes I talk to male contacts, and some of the attitudes are a little bit like some of the attitudes I met maybe in the UK 15 or 20 years ago. So I think there's more work to be done here, but there is everywhere.
Yeah. Now, coming to your own experience, as your lived experience as a woman, how has that learning or your lived experience helped you in decision making, administrative decision making, in a rather androcentric administrative world?
I think this is a really important question, and I'm very conscious that as a senior woman I don't have children and I don't have caring responsibilities, and I know that that is something that causes a lot of women to move slower through organisations and or encourages them to go out and just leave the workplace. And so I've tried really consciously to understand, not just learn from my experience, but also from the women around me, to talk to people about their lived experience, the challenges they face, and to think about how we can, in organisations that I have influence in, how we can improve the retention, the promotion, the recognition that women get.
This year, the UN has taken the theme of invest in women,
Accelerating progress.
Yes, yes, and also it's inspiring inclusion. So, what would be your message in context to that theme for young girls who would like to break the barriers and break through the glass ceiling, as you say?
Well, I think all young girls and all the young girls I've met in India have big dreams, and they should believe in those dreams, and they should look for the role models around who can inspire them and the people who can help them realise their dreams. But the message is not just for young girls, because I don't worry about the young girls. I know they have those big dreams and those capabilities. Yes. It's really for all the adults and people who take decisions that impact
their immediate ecosystem.
Exactly. And the responsibility is on the adult generation to make sure those girls can realise their potential and to fulfil their dreams. And we see that happening in all sectors in India. And I think until every girl gets the opportunity to pursue her dreams, we will not be being true to our young people.
Thank you so much.